Alright, guys, so this was a fanfiction idea that you got that people voted for on my Patreon, and as always, if you guys would like to join my Patreon to get exclusive content and also help out with voting for videos to do on here, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, where if you just want to watch videos or you just want to do polls, the first tier will let you do polls as well as check out the movie reviews, whatever movie I see theatrically. But yeah, so this one is basically one that that people voted for on my Patreon, like I said, and this one won by a large margin. This one this one won by a lot. Like, this one won by a shit ton, by 56% of the vote, and that is a Warhammer Transformers crossover. So yep, as you can see, I'm going further down the Warhammer 40K rabbit hole. So let's get started. So the story is that essentially the Autobots have found that the Decepticons are building a new space bridge, and the space bridge is going to be like a direct line to Cybertron. And in doing so, they believe that maybe we can not only send our, Energon to resources to back Shockwave and his Decepticons, but maybe we can get more Decepticons here. Well, problem with that, because through no fault of their own, something has reached out and taken hold of the space bridge. It's basically taking control of the space. Something has reached out and taken control of the space bridge while the Autobots and Decepticons are battling it out. Unfortunately, it causes a backfire and brings everyone to another universe. However, during this, both Optimus and Megatron, during the fight, saw something like in this space bridge jump, and they both were like, that was not what I thought it was, and they saw something horrendous. They saw the Chaos Gods. Yeah, the four Chaos Gods sensed the power of the space bridge and attempted to link it to the Eye of Terror, trying to find like a backdoor to get out of the subspace they're trapped in. So rather than, be trapped by, in the Eye of Terror, they were like, hey, maybe we can use this as like a backdoor, or the space bridge thing, to get to find a backdoor and get out of our current situation. That'd be pretty cool. Like, they were like, yeah, let's do that. Like, that'll be pretty fun. Unfortunately, what happened was, fortunately for Cybertron and Earth, unfortunately for the Chaos Gods, Shockwave caught wind of something was wrong. He didn't realize what but it was like he sensed that it was an outside source, and the only way to stop it was to purge it, basically cause an unintentional jump and knock off and break the hold that the gods had on the space bridge. So, but however, in doing so, he kind of estimated that, yeah, whatever happened, what would happen is that everyone around the space bridge during that jump would be thrown to some unknown location. But remember, Shockwave is more about logic than he is about caring about his comrades. So obviously Shockwave was going to be like, do I risk all of my comrades in the name of stopping these gods, or do I let it happen to save my fellow Decepticons? Oh, I'm gonna switch that thing on. So that's what he did, and yeah, now the Autobots and Decepticons are in the world of Warhammer 40K. And they picked the worst spot to end up in, because it turns out that they were all, Autobots and Decepticons alike, were all thrown out into the wilds of the universe, and are now like trapped on both Autobots and Decepticon groups are trapped on different worlds. And Optimus and Megatron were essentially left on a planet, they were left on Earth, they were left on Terra, and immediately are set upon by the Ultramarines and are captured to be taken. But however, Optimus meets the attempted Emperor Callum, and he's like, we're Autobot, we come in peace, this is all that, and he's like, yeah, I don't care, you're Xenos. And Optimus makes the point of, something tried to come through our universe, and we believe it came through, it tried to reach out through your universe and into ours. We did, and Megatron points out, during this whole jump that we saw this thing, like 4 beings, and he's like, the Chaos Gods, speak fast, Xeno, and they basically tell Callum, listen, I don't know what these Chaos Gods are, but they are trying to find a backdoor through your Eye of Terror. So, if you help us, we will help you stop them from trying to get both our universes. And Callum is like, yeah, no. We don't do the whole human-Xeno alliance here. But then, after Optimus basically talks him into it, and we get a surprise attack by the Chaos Marines, who... the Chaos Gods basically reach out to their followers and are like, hey, we failed in trying to get out of the Eye of Terror, but if you find this thing called the Matrix of Leadership, we could probably find a way through. However, there was an unintentional sidetrack to what happened with the Chaos God, in doing so, of what the Chaos Gods basically did something unintentionally. Like, they basically did something very unintentional, and now they're paying the price for it. Because it turns out that it wasn't just the Autobots and Decepticons that they brought into the Warhammer 40K universe. Something else got through, or rather, something followed through. And that something was Unicron. Since Unicron has the ability to traverse the multiverse, he just sensed that something big was going on and followed through. So Unicron is now in the Warhammer 40K universe and is already, like, consuming Imperium worlds. But even he's like, these worlds are dead and just useless to me. There's nothing here. Like, there's really nothing I want to use. But, however, food is food. Also, Unicron intends to go face the Chaos Gods and consume the energy of their universe. So, you may be asking, while this is all going on, what happened to the Autobots and Decepticons? Well, for starters, Grimlock and some of the not the Dinobots, they're all scattered too, but Grimlock and a few Autobots and Decepticons, namely Astrotrain, Jetfire, Mirage, and Beachcomber, are now on an orc-controlled world, and Grimlock, after killing the War Boss, is now been made War Boss Grimlock. Because yes, Grimlock would totally want to be a War Boss. Tell me, like, the idea of War Boss Grimlock would not be a badass, right? So Grimlock now becomes a War Boss. Meanwhile, you have other Autobots and Decepticons. They're battling the Tyranids. You have Starscream, who has been captured by the Death Corps and being experimented on. And Skywarp and Thundercracker are like, do we really have to save him? Really? Do we really have to save this putz? That's what they're kind of going for. And Bumblebee's like, yes, you saved them. And they're like, fucking fine. Anyway, so that's where they are. Like, yeah. So Optimus and Megatron make the alliance in order to keep with the Imperium of Man, a temporary alliance between them, and even like the Imperium is like, this is fucking stupid. Like the whole idea of this, but however, these Xenos have a way to traverse, do hyperspace travel without traveling, running the risk of running into the Chaos Gods. So maybe if we figure out how to use that, maybe they can teach us how to use this space bridge technology, and we can use it for our own purposes, and maybe bring the light of the Emperor's godhood to their universe. They don't say that part, but that's just what's on their mind. So, henceforth, the two sides make the alliance and rescue the other Autobots and Decepticons across the worlds. And eventually, meanwhile, Unicron goes into the Eye of Terror and does battle 1-on-4 with the Chaos Gods. And Unicron holds his own because Unicron is, essentially. And eventually he does consume enough of the chaos energy that he becomes like this demonic chaos version of himself. And like everything, like his little annihilation wave type thing is now like demonic and whatnot. So now it's just all-out war to stop Chaos Unicron from consuming the universe. And by the end of it, they do defeat him. They do kill Unicron. They do in a combined Autobot, Decepticon, Imperium alliance, and they even ally with the Orcs because Grimlock is still like considered a war boss. So he so Grimlock's like, we're gonna fight them, and then we'll fight the Imperium and Autobots later. And the Orcs are like, yeah, let's do what the boss says. We's gonna burn all. I can't do an Orc voice. Anyway. I also wanted to have, for shits and giggles, I really wanted to have Starscream meet Caiaphas Cain. Because as I've learned further and further into the the Warhammer universe, the more I see, like, Caiaphas Cain is literally Starscream if he had just a wee bit more of a spine. Yeah. It's just, I've never met someone who has been so lucky of just bullshitting his way through something. It's amazing. Also, side note, I think if we ever get this Warhammer thing on Amazon up and going, I'm gonna say it now. I want Bruce Campbell to play Caiaphas Cain. I want him to play Commissar Cain. Tell me you wouldn't want to see Bruce Campbell as Caiaphas Cain. It's just kind of perfect. I just kind of imagine that voice coming out of Kane's mouth. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. But yeah. So there you go, guys. That is the... Oh yeah, also at the end, I wanted to have like a dun-dun-dun ending where the Imperium takes the remnants of Unicron's body and try to extrapolate space bridge travel to other universes. So there you go, guys. That is my Transformers Warhammer crossover. You guys tell me in the comments below. What did you guys think of it? Like it, hate it, comment below, and I'd like to thank everyone who sent in votes for this story. And if you want to check out and do votes of your own, hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon for exclusive content. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.